The next one in Manhattan Casino, this is exciting. So City Council approved the GMP contract with Ajax on September 25th. I'm happy to say that the construction has commenced on this project. And with the construction, the renovation will be the entire first floor will be converted into flexible event space. The upstairs ballroom will be rehabbed and updated, and then the exterior of the building will be repainted and refreshed. I do want to make a correction. There is an error in the material and on the PowerPoint. It says that it would be expected to be completed by fall of 2026, and I think what we put in there is what we hope happens. We've been told to expect summer of 2026, but Beth has assured me that she's going to push Ajax to get it done as soon as possible because we are really excited about getting, having an affordable event venue that will be available for use by the community.
Yay.
Next, we'll go to the Deuces Development. So this is three different areas that I'll talk about. The first one is highlighted in yellow. And if you haven't had an opportunity to ride by it, I would encourage you to go by. We're very far along. It looks beautiful. So this is going to be 24 affordable townhomes, and we're expecting that this will be complete in 2026. So that's the yellow area. The blue area we actually ended up terminating the agreement with one community on that one because we were not able to move forward with that agreement. So once the termination of that agreement is completed, we plan to seek alternative plans for the development of that site. But what we're looking to do, and you'll see a theme here, is we're trying to activate the corridor. So with the Manhattan coming online, having events there, we would like to see activation of this with commercial and retail uses. So we would seek alternative plans on that once the termination of the one community agreement is complete, and that the termination officially happens in November. And then the last one is the area outlined in red. So this was the site that was identified early on for the future Woodson Museum. As you all are aware, the most recent conversations, whether it be with the Ray Hines development and even the unsolicited outlined in red. So this was the site that was identified early on for the future Woodson Museum. As you all are aware, the most recent conversations, whether it be with the Ray Hines development and even the unsolicited proposal that we recently received, contemplates that the Woodson Museum would be moved to the historic gas plant site. And while we support and think that that would be a good move, we would look to, once that is settled and we know that the Woodson's future is cemented somewhere else, we would look to do a mixed-use project here, again, activating the corridor with also residential components, and we would do a competitive RFP to develop that site located in red. That site, just to give you an idea, is approximately 5 acres. The next one is also an exciting advancement. So this one just was approved by City Council last week. So you all approved a ground lease and development agreement with Green Mills. With that approval, this will be 54 units, all at 80% or below of area median income. There will be, again, 2,500 square feet of retail on the ground floor to continue to advance the activity on the corridor. This will be a 99-year ground lease that will ensure long-term affordability. And the construction must commence, and I'll say must because we're obviously hoping for shorter timelines, but it must commence within 36 months with the completion of no later than 2030. But as you heard from Green Mills, and is also our desire, we hope that that would be much sooner than that, but those are kind of the outside dates as far as when those items have to be complete. And as you can see, this is rental, the Deuces Townhome or home ownership. So we believe those are complementary, and we're excited that Deuces is almost done. We'll hope to see that this will start moving soon. And, I talked about the last three items I talked about were all on 22nd Street. We really are focusing on, like I said, revitalizing the corridor, getting some activity on the corridor. And I wanted to just let everyone know there is a Deuces Corridor community update happening on Friday, October 30th at 6 p.m. It's going to be at the Enoch Davis Center. And what we're going to do is just focus specifically on projects on the Deuces, including Manhattan, Deuces Townhomes, to give everybody an update on where we are with our progress on the various initiatives along 22nd Street. So Thursday, sorry. The date was right, the day was wrong. It is October 30th, but that is a Thursday at 6 p.m. Enoch Davis. So with that, that's the end of it, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I have staff here, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about the various sites.
Thank you. We'll start with Committee Vice Chair Fig Sanders.
Thank you. Quick question. With everything that's happening at Job Corps, that area, have we had any conversation in regards to helping, securing, any conversation at all?
We're continuing to monitor, and Aaron, if you have any newer update, we're continuing to monitor if that property is being made available. At this point, to my knowledge, there hasn't been any movement on potentially securing or moving forward with the site, but Aaron, if you have
Good morning, committee. Real estate and property management, we are monitoring to see if there is any movement for the disposition of that site. To date, there has been nothing posted, and no information has been gleaned from the federal government on that as of now.
Yeah, okay. Okay, is there any movement still on the site? No? Okay,
as far as activity of, you mean as students or
Yeah.
participants? I believe they're still there. It's still operating,
okay.
but I don't know to what level, if it's at.
What level? Okay. All right, and then the one community contract cancellation, that is effective November 30th?
November 29th, I believe. It's based on when we sent it. It's the end of November when it is effective. We did actually receive a letter from their attorney to advise us they have no objection to the termination.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councilmember Givens.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you, staff, for all of your hard work. Appreciate the update. If we can start with the Manhattan, I don't know if this may be a Beth question, but I thought we were hiring an event planner.
Yes.
And have we started taking bookings?
We have not officially started taking bookings. Since we're looking at a July opening, we will probably be opening those bookings up right at the beginning of the new year and bring staff on after the new year.
Awesome
So
news.
just
Thank
want to
you.
make sure that we have a little bit of construction under our belt before we start booking for sure.
That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The Deuces Townhomes. Mr. Corbett, do you know what the effort is to recruit buyers? Are we talking with the developer over there to see what that's looking like?
So we've engaged Maurice Franklin as the broker to help us with the sales on that, and he has, all along and is still doing, he's going to be at the event on the 30th, but he has been reaching out to members in the community and at large to let them know that the opportunity is coming. So he is actively making the community aware of those opportunities because we expect there'll be quite a bit of demand. But Mr. Franklin is handling the marketing for that.
Yeah, and I did talk to Mr. Franklin, that was the reason I brought it up, and I guess he's kind of struggling in that area. So if the city can really help him, whether it be through marketing or whatever, the CRA, I really think he has a great opportunity to really help a lot of folks, and I want to make sure we get the word out as best as possible. Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, committee members. Mark Van Loo, Housing and Community Development. So I meet regularly with Mo Franklin on the marketing and ultimate sale of these units. He's trying to do very targeted marketing to really provide, the most opportunity to folks in the CRA who would like to be on the interest list and ultimately apply for purchase of one of the units. So it's been a little bit tough because we have to finalize all of the numbers. What are we going to sell the units for? What are the HOA fees going to be, which drives the, purchase price of the units and all those sort of things, and make sure that we're going to be in compliance with the affordability levels at the time the units are sold, which is expected to be in the spring. So we're working through that now. Once he has those numbers, he'll be able to do a lot more intentional marketing. And, you can imagine if you're reaching out to folks with a potential opportunity, the first question you're going to have is, well, how much is one of these units going to cost? And, what are the fees or HOA fees, things like that. So we're getting there, and he'll be able to, I think, amp up the marketing once we solidify a few of those things in the next month or so.
Good news. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then lastly, the conversation that's been scheduled for next Thursday, when did we decide on that and we get a week's notice?
It's been, we decided on it probably shortly after city council approved it was shortly after they approved the Manhattan GMP. I know that there have been some marketing efforts. I can find out from marketing what has been done to promote that. I was simply letting you all know today this was not intended to be the first time.
Yeah, I'm glad you let us know. Thank you, Mr. Corbett, because even though it's on a council meeting day, I still would like to try to attend, but I also want to make sure we can put the word out there to residents. So when things like this are scheduled, if we can get a timely notice, that would be great.
I'll work with marketing to make sure that we push the word out, but I heard that get it out sooner.
Oh, thank you. No meeting that day. I appreciate you reminding me, but still, it's a week away, and we want to make sure we can engage residents. If we're going to schedule something, let's make sure we as council members can also be present as well as our constituents. Thank you, Chair.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Councilmember Floyd.
Thank you for the update. I just want to ask something real quick. The commercial at Deuces Development will seek alternative plans following the termination process. I guess we're in the process of termination right now. Any ideas as to what those alternative plans will look like?
I think generally what was there, we would want to keep some of those elements. So retail, micro space, potentially some incubator space. If someone wanted to move their office there or a headquarters there, a smaller facility, moving their office there.
I was thinking more along the lines of like another bid process or how.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, if we didn't receive a proposal first, we would certainly do an RFP to name, to enumerate the types of things that we would like to see there.
Okay.
To advance the corridor's development.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Hey, I don't think I have anything that I can't take offline for the future of this. I appreciate the update. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Council Chair Gertis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I actually have a question. Sorry that I'm surprising this one, so I apologize in advance because I'm going to ask a question about one that's not on here, which is the Coliseum. And the only reason I'm asking is because I was at an update with the 3 primes for Ajax, Biltmore, and I forget the other one the other day, the Meet the Primes thing. And they were talking about how the Coliseum is going to be down in 26 or 27 for like 6 or 7 months. And I'm just wondering how we're communicating that to people that are there on a yearly basis.
Well, that is not necessarily the case.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad you asked. So we,
Because
as
they made it sound like it was the case.
we're working on, we've got a few projects kind of in the hopper for the Coliseum. One is the floor, which we've talked about previously. The other is the air conditioning, which we've talked about. We've got a roof going on fairly soon. So if and when we do those things, I think that the long-term one that you're talking about would have been the floor replacement. Because of both the cost and the time, we have come up with an alternative solution. It's probably not like a forever solution, but it's a good enough for the next few years solution, safe and all of those things. So that work will come at another time. Yeah.
I'm sorry to.
That's okay. No, that's
When
quite
I
all right.
saw that, I was like, that's a really long time
Yes.
for an event space that is used,
Yes.
300 times a year.
Yeah.
Partly because of cost, as Beth mentioned, but because we realized when we were told the timeline, how long it was going to take, we realized that we would shift to a solution that makes it safe, but we would plan, so, things are booked out, way out, so we would plan to make sure we incorporate that into some future planning that it doesn't impact, the events.
I appreciate the flexibility and sorry for
That's okay.
surprising it on.
No,
Thank
no.
you very much. That's all I had, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. You're giving me not so great flashbacks from my hotel days and
Yeah.
having to move
Unbook
meetings.
people.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. Anyone else? All right, Councilmember Harding?
Oh, ma'am, I'm good, thank you.
All right. Let's start with another one. I want to talk about the 5 acres that's still being held for the Woodson Museum. That was held around 2020, maybe 2021 was when the previous administration earmarked that space for the Woodson. But I feel like we've come a long way since then and created an even better opportunity to put the museum in a place that is more prominent and gives it an even greater opportunity to thrive. And I feel that that's more, the museum and the spirit of the museum is deserving of that. It's nice that there's space for it here. But we've since identified such a greater opportunity by having it as part of the historic gas plant redevelopment. And that's kind of what most people have settled on, is that is where it's going to go next. So my question is, knowing that we are prioritizing that as part of that redevelopment plan, and we have a need to create more housing, more affordable commercial space, as we were talking about earlier. We've got this, the Warehouse Arts District and its new zoning overlay that allows for more uses. A lot going on over in that area. Why would we hang on to it when we pretty much know the museum is not going to be there? It's going to be as part of the HGP.
Yeah, so I guess I would say that is not the only reason. That was the initial reason why we hung on to it, and I think that, although it seems like a long time ago, the original or the first time the conversation about the museum being on the gas plant land was through the Ray Hines proposal, and I think everybody fell in love with that concept, and I agree that that's for the most part settled. But that was not that long ago that was canceled, that I didn't go through. So really it was just a time to adjust. We do have some other things that are happening on the corridor. So as we plan to go forward and put out an RFP on what we want on that 5 acres, we want to make sure that it all is complementary to the townhomes, the Manhattan opening, the Green Mills proposal. So I was not suggesting that we were waiting for the gas plant deal or whatever decision to be completed before we move forward on the RFP. It was just simply one of the things that why we hadn't moved forward on it sooner, but I would expect an RFP related to that site to come well before anything is settled as it relates to the development of the gas plant.
Okay, good. I just don't want to delay progress, especially in this part of our city, any more than is absolutely necessary. And 5 acres is, in St. Pete terms, that's a lot. And there's so much that can be done. We see what's happening already. And so I don't want this valuable land to miss out on opportunity right now when there's so much that's starting to pop over in that area.
Agreed. And I think we'll try to build on the momentum of the recent approvals, and we should get that to you. I would anticipate we have something out in the next few months.
Excellent. Thank you. As far as the townhomes, it says opening in 2026. Is that early 2026? Do we have?
Spring of 2026, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's correct. The current target is spring of 2026, probably in the March timeframe, that they'll be fully ready to and have certificate of occupancy and be available for sale. Obviously, we'll start getting everything set up and getting buyers lined up before that point.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, so that, you know, everybody's in place and selected and ready to go once we're done. I think the main issue there is working with Duke Energy on some power lines that have to be dealt with and some easements and things that have to be resolved. So Duke's timeline isn't always our timeline, but I know engineering's working hard on that to get that resolved as soon as possible. Hopefully with a light storm season this year, maybe Duke will be able to put more resources there, but I think conservatively, we'd be looking at spring.
Okay. So that contract was first awarded in April of 2021. So that means 5 years for 24 townhouses. And how much did it cost us? How much did we end up putting in? Was it 19 million?
I'd have to go back and look, council member, at the number.
19.
And that might have been when the original agreement with Horace. I don't remember when council actually approved the GMP. I think it was later than that, but yes, it's taken some time to get it done.
Yeah, it has. We've got high rises downtown that took less time. And the city has put in, I think it was around 19 million that the city put in, which eliminated the possibility of using any proceeds from the sale of the townhouses to fund the commercial space that we still want. So
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey acting as a developer, and you learn why nobody else did anything for, I don't know, 20 or 30 years. So we're so excited to have progress on the site. It's amazing.
yeah. So in all that time, and what is the name of the developer, the construction company, the contractor that's doing this for us?
It's Horace Construction.
Horace Construction. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions? All right. Thank you. Oh, yes.
I have no,
Committee Vice Chair Fig Sanders.
thank you. I have no questions, but I do have a statement, and I know that we're speaking in regards to the time frame that it took for Sankofa, and also being in the conversation with that. I'm not going to let Horace Construction take the heat for the length of time that it took. In having some of the conversations with administration, some of the hurdles that they were faced with, I get to see firsthand where the equity and equality in the city's development is not always equitable or equal. With Horace Construction being a homebred developer, born and raised right here in the city of St. Petersburg, that is the very first award city contract that they've ever received. And when I said, please look, have the opportunity, and I'm not advertising for them, but if you want to put out the bad, I want you to also go and look at what they have contributed to our development, especially in affordable housing. Talking to affordable housing developers, it is not something that we have people jumping at the gun to build affordable housing. So I just want to make sure that, time frame, sitting on city council, all of us know how long things take. You know, and so for the high rises, unfortunately, all of the affordable housing developers don't have the millions and billions that the high rises building downtown actually has. And when it comes to benefiting certain areas of our community, we find that progress to be just a tad bit slower than some of the other developments that we have. So before we take something somewhere, take a little bit more with you on that one. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Everything always takes longer than we want it to, isn't that right?
That is so true.
All right. Does anyone else have anything for the committee this morning? All right. We will not have a meeting for this committee in November. The next meeting for Economic and Workforce Development Committee is December 4th, 2025. And with that, we are adjourned.